Make sure. All right. My bad, y'all. I started the live without even fucking make sure I was coming through clear here. Let me see. All right. I'm good. All right. You already know I'm your host, Garrett Sims. This is Gnews Live, and it is March 25th, 2024. We got a good stream today. Every stream is a good stream. 2 days in a row with it, I'm starting to feel like I know what I'm doing a little bit. Let's get into the music. We're going to do the same thing as usual. 2 songs. And we're going to get right to it. Let's go.
Yeah. It's like 6:30.
This is Selfish Freestyle by K.
On a Wednesday. I just thought to myself, like, who more selfish, you or me? It don't matter, but you. Even now I tuned in with the Mr. Mr. So incredible. Mr. Too unfair, but I'm done talking. We gon' get into it. She said that you getting money, I'm like yes indeed. And she doing blowouts, she never pay for weave. Niggas start to hear my songs and I know they mad. And my brothers all produce, so I don't pay for beats. Yeah.
Welcome in, Guaranteed News, March 25th. 2 songs, we're gonna get right to it. I'm just gonna get it. We're getting to the Freako with Diddy. That's the first story of the day.
Shouldn't have to say it. Come and see me right now. Why the fuck I'm waiting? She playing with my heart, and the chances of her falling is like gambling in Vegas. Betting on this bitch is like betting on the Raiders. Waste the fucking money, might as well donate it. I just get cake, most them boys cupcake, yeah. Pull up, make it, most them niggas pump faking. I told her pray to God, she like assalamu alaikum. Yeah, is you sure about it? I go to war about it. We so locked in, you could bring the whores around me. Once you get it, then you got it, so you understand me. Got the plug number, you can never middleman me. Niggas see you getting money, then they wanna tax. But it's fuck them, you can never Uncle Sam me. I see niggas not blow when it's time to go. But this Draco don't stop it, it ain't jamming. This lyric on me now, I'm doing the glamour. We looking good on film, told her bring a camera. He acting like a bitch, tell your nigga man up. If that nigga can't stand me, tell that nigga stand up. She gon' hear this on her phone, she gon' throw her hands up. I was known in New York like George Costanza. You heard the whole verse, but this my stanza.
Man, I'm so excited to talk about this Diddy shit. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I look at Twitter, it's some new shit.
Voila, money coming every color, nigga tie-dye. She gon' lie to you, so the truth is my lie. Damn, you probably never understand, probably won't comprehend. I can't make amends, I ain't did nothing. If a bitch do you bad, hit her real, cause she remind me of for real, cause she still frontin'. I remind me of my daddy, cause I'm still stuntin'. Still stuntin'. Get the fuck up off my dick and get some real money. Nigga can't rap, who gave this mic to a pill junkie?
All right. Thank you for staying in. Last song. We're gonna do this every time we do high every time. Last song, and we get straight into Guaranteed News. Thank you for watching.
Use your head for you motherfucking losing, man. Cream King FTL, man. You know how we rock it, man. Boy, you smoking on that same shit that got Chris Rock. Drink cocaine with a drum, this bitch sound like Kid Rock. Bet these niggas go and copy this, them niggas Xerox. I could move, we still on his ass, we got him gridlocked. One bitch, I ain't picky. Fuck me till I'm dizzy. My bitch catch another op, she gon' get some new Rickies. RIP my young boy, that shit still got me pissy. My nephew won't even play my ops, he said it sound too kitty. Bitch want me to fuck with her, but she be acting ditzy. He thought it was clean, I'm still serving cut, no kizzy. Pull up looking clean as hell, can't forget that blicky. Chop it shoot like Jimmy, I ain't even had no simmy. Every beat shit automatic, supercharged like Hemi. Told my little bitch walkie only, she can keep that Henny. Virgo, he got Trump money, gave myself a stimmy. Told my bitch don't want hibachi, she can keep the bennies. Get them chopped like sushi rolls, play them hoes like movie roles. That boy, he got baby money, bankroll like a 2-year-old. This bitch know she fine as hell, came through built like Ruby Rose. 100K times 10, nigga, I'm gon' need a few of those. Partner red, it look like a bottle of some hot sauce. All these sticks, thought that we was finna go to Top Golf. Treat him like a thought shirt, get that nigga cropped off. He said he gon' touch me, see how ain't shit popped off. LOL, hi, I know folks don't like me. Pussing off these pussy niggas really do excite me. Shawty know I'm rude as hell, but somehow she still like me. She know I ain't pussy and ain't that nigga like me.
All right, it is March 25th, 2024. I'm your host, Garrett Sims, and this is Guaranteed News Live. All right, if you've watched anything of mine, you know I don't like intros. I got to do it, though, because I feel like what I'm supposed to do. So, quick intro, then we're going to get into the show. Housekeeping. Like and subscribe if you're watching this video live or afterwards. Thank you. Please like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so every time I go live or post a video, you will know. Guarantee News Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm liking the 8 o'clock time, so I'm thinking I'm going to stick to that until something else changes or I feel like I have a good reason to not continue doing this time. And let's get into Guarantee News. Like I say every episode, Guarantee News is supposed to be the topics that I want to focus on are sports, movies and TV shows, entertainment news, and hard news. Pause, no Diddy. And the last couple of episodes, I've been like, okay, what am I gonna? I haven't had any hard news. Pause, no Diddy. And I said on yesterday when I streamed, like I'm gonna start looking into things, trying to find like real like newsy news for you guys to find. I have a hard news story for tonight. Again, pause no Diddy. It just happened to work out this way. But got home from work today, looking through Twitter, looking through everything, and I see that Diddy's Los Angeles mansion is basically being raided by the feds. His Miami and his Los Angeles home. So for the first story of the day, we're going to just talk about what we know going on with Diddy with this raid that's just happening. Some of the shit that's gone on with Diddy for like the last couple of months. I don't even need to talk about it again, I guess, because if you don't know, you're under a rock, and I guess I'm about to help you out a little bit. But let's just jump right into this. This is an article by the New York Times. We're gonna look at some tweets. We're gonna look at some articles. If you know me, I'm a writer at heart. So I always got to find an article for everything. This is a New York Times article, fresh off the press. Federal agents raid homes tied to Sean Combs in Los Angeles and Miami. In response to questions about Mr. Combs' residences, Homeland Security investigation said the searches were part of an ongoing investigation. Stick with me. I'm going to read through this a little bit, but there's multiple things that I have to say with this. All right, this is written by, sorry if I'm messing up any names, Ben Cesario, Julia Jacobs, and William K. Roshbaum. And before I get into anything, I also want to just do a little precursor. Let me make the screen big while I do this, actually. My screen big. My name is Garrett Sims. Everything that I'm about to say, I do not know to be fact. Why this is called Guarantee News, there is a little bit of joking. Do not take everything I'm saying as absolute fact. Diddy, anybody that has anything to do with them, do not, no one take what I'm about to say too seriously, but take it somewhat seriously enough for you to come back and watch the next episode of Guarantee News. So let's just get in, before I talk with anything about Diddy and what he's doing or not doing or what he's accused of doing, just realize that, this is just a 24-year-old sitting in his room on a computer talking about bullshit. So don't take it too seriously. All right. This was updated at 7:11 today. Let's get to it. Federal agents raided homes in Los Angeles and Miami on Monday that are connected to hip-hop mogul Sean Combs, a person with knowledge of the case said. Homeland Security carried out the raids but did not provide details about the case, including whether Mr. Combs was a target or which criminal charges were being investigated. Mr. Combs, who is also known as Puff Daddy or Diddy, has been accused of sexual assault and sex trafficking in multiple civil lawsuits over the last few months. Homeland Security is the one doing the investigation. I heard that the FBI is there as well, and I heard about the home in Los Angeles that they've closed it off right now, that like nobody can get in or get out. This is serious as fuck. This is something that has been planned for days. This is not a fucking joke. Okay. A spokesperson for Mr. Combs did not respond to a request for comment. The criminal inquiry was being conducted by federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York and federal agents with Homeland Security, a law enforcement official said. Nicholas Biazia, spokesperson for the Southern District, declined to comment. So now reading this article, I want to get into what is he being charged with, who charged him. Like, let's get a little bit of what we want. A statement of Homeland Security. executed law enforcement action that's part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, Homeland Security. Is that what HSI? The person watching this right now, if you know, what is law enforcement, Homeland Security Investigations. Say less. All right, working with Homeland Security Investigations, Los Angeles and Miami, and our local law enforcement partiers. Lost further from Fox 11, a local TV station in Los Angeles showed armed officers entering a home in the Homey Hills area of the city, which a law enforcement official said was connected to Mr. Combs. Public records in California also indicate that the home is owned by a company led by Mr. Combs. What I saw from Twitter, you can never believe Twitter. I honed out that Diddy bought the house for his daughter, apparently. This article by the New York Times said that a law enforcement official said was connected to Mr. Combs. Public records in California also indicate that the home is owned by a company led by Mr. Combs. I'd probably go with New York Times and say it's connected to, maybe Twitter and the Times are right. It's connected to Holmes because it's his daughters. Okay. The raids were a stunning development in the career of Mr. Combs. Okay, this is going over his career. It's Diddy. I don't need to go through that. He has also been dogged for decades by accusations of violence. In November, he was sued by a sexual assault of Cassandra Ventura, Cassie, his former girlfriend who was signed to his label. Then, in her suit, Miss Ventura accused Mr. Combs of forcing her to engage in sex activity with male prostitutes over a period of years. The suit said that as a result of those encounters, which took place in a number of cities across the United States, Miss Ventura was a victim of sex trafficking, the Diddy freak-offs that we've heard about. Everybody heard about the Cassie story. The suit was settled in just one day. I think it was like $30 million, and Mr. Combs said their dispute has been resolved amicably. As soon as that happened, I feel like everybody knew this wasn't the end of the Diddy conversation, and we knew more was going to be coming. And since everything happened with Cassie, more stuff has been coming in. This article gets into that. I'll read that. But this is turning into a R. Kelly level type of situation. This is fucking insane. It's turning into an R. Kelly situation. There's going to be a Rico, a Frico, and this is going to be going on for a while. Let's keep reading. The case filed in a detailed 35-page complaint drew headlines around the world and imperiled the business brand he had steadily built up over the decades. In the months before Miss Ventura's suit, Mr. Combs was given an industry award and released his first studio album. And that's even crazier. All this near his album. Even after the settlement, was followed by several more cases, each accusing Mr. Combs of sexual assault. Since the Cassie shit happened, more people have been coming out. One case filed last month, a music producer, Ronnie Jones, said Mr. Combs had made unwanted sexual contact with him and forced him to hire a prostitute, potentially exing him. In recent months, many of Combs' business partners have distanced themselves from him. This Ronnie Jones dude, I think there was, with all this shit, there was like a guy that like said that, like, again, referred to what I said like 5 minutes ago, but they said Young Miami, Carisha, they said Young Miami was apparently her cousin or something was in the freak off with Diddy and making like one of the guys pulled his pants down and no Diddy, pause. I think this is that Ronnie Jones guy. So Carisha could be involved in this as well. For her cousin is being named in shits doing stuff involving Diddy's freak off activities. Let's keep going. Federal investigations in New York have been leading the investigation and have been conducting interviews asking potential witnesses about sexual misconduct allegations against Mr. Combs for several months, according to a person familiar with the interviews. Mr. Combs has denied the accusations against him in December after an anonymous woman filed a suit in December accusing Mr. Combs and two other men of, if you can see it, taking advantage of her in a New York recording studio in 2003 when she was 17. The musical mogul said, sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. All right, I didn't do anything of the awful things. After Mrs. Jones' suit last month, Sean Holy, a lawyer for Mr. Combs, said Mr. Jones is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit shamelessly looking for an undeserved pay. This is in a statement. Okay. I actually like to read the end of articles, actually. In a statement on Monday, Douglas Wigdor, a lawyer who represents Miss Ventura and the anonymous woman who sued Mr. Combs, alleging assault at a New York studio, said, "We will always support local law enforcement and it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Hopefully this is the beginning of the process and will hold him accountable for his fucked up content." Okay. Or conduct. Okay. First, let me get into this. Because he's saying, okay, there is, like Diddy said, there is nothing, saying that these things are true. I didn't do any of this. I want to say, first off, if Homeland Security, the FBI, if they're raiding multiple of your homes and two of them, or let me not even go down there. If they're raiding multiple of your homes, and they're shutting down the street because they shut the street down in the neighborhood. I'm gonna play some videos on Twitter of what it looks like. Like they shut shit down. Everybody that was in that Los Angeles house, and it looked like apparently some of Diddy's kids was taken out of the house. They're bringing boxes and shit out. So if they're doing all of this, that means they have something on this nigga Diddy. And then the article said this has been a months-long investigation. If they're going in now and raiding the homes, that means they feel pretty. Have you ever watched The Sopranos or watched any show, The Wire? Like when the cops go in and start raiding shit and go into the house, it's because they already know what they're looking for. They just need to go and find it and obtain it. So this is like the fact that this is happening now makes me think shit is about to start picking up really quickly. And then let me go to the Twitter. Let me go to Twitter and see some of this shit. But if they're raiding his home right now, that is all that should tell you is that shit's about to be coming up quickly, and in the next couple of days we're probably going to see something specifically like they found video of Diddy doing this, video of Diddy doing that. It's going to be something going on in these next couple of days. Let's look at this. Hold on. Let me show this. All right. Or actually, let me make sure I'm showing the one that I want off the bat. Let's see. Diddy and these freak offs, bro. This shit is insane, bro. All right. Let's see. Let's look at the first video. We're going to scroll through Twitter for a little bit and look through a couple of videos because this shit is happening live, bro. Let's see. Rapper Diddy's Los Angeles home has been raided by Homeland Security in connection to federal sex trafficking investigation. According to investigators, Diddy's Miami home was also raided. Multiple women have come forward accusing Diddy's of beating, sexual assault, forced drugging. Accuser Joy Dickerson says when she was 19, she was intentionally drugged by Diddy after a date. He then took her home and, bro, this is them raiding the home.
As they made entry into this home.
Oh, okay, all right. And let's listen to this Fox. Let's listen to this Fox for a little bit.
Here that we're getting this information from. We were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say.
Look at this. They're bringing people out, bro. Like, this is no game.
Tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this street where Tony is right now to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats and law enforcement. And on the other side of those bushes, basically, is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films, which is part of Bad Boy Entertainment. And the home in particular is registered not only to Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters.
They are heavily armed, and they've been very tactful, would probably be the best word to use, as they made entry into this home this afternoon. We actually watched them.
They're armed. They've been very tactful. They know, bro. They're going to search for something specific.
As they made their way through one of these side gates, and as soon as they got inside the home, first things they did was made their way into this garage that you see is open right there. Now, they did take a couple people into custody. We witnessed that. Now, are they under arrest? Are they just being asked about what they know? That I can't answer, but I can tell you there's 3 people right there that were taken into custody, were inside that home at the time of the raid.
We did see a bunch of investigators going in, making the raid in there and clearing that as well. So they're going to do a thorough search as they conduct this.
Yeah, they're searching for something. They're going to do a thorough search as they conduct their fucking interviews. They're looking for something specific. They already know what they want. They just need to find it. So this is where I want to say with the Diddy shit. And apparently, like some of his whatchamacallits got arrested. Not arrested, but some of his children were, whatchamacallit, put out of the house and taken in. And let me see. Let me do one more thing. Let me show you one more thing. This is the last piece of information I'm going to say that I found or that I've seen on Twitter since before I started streaming. I guarantee shit is like happened since. But this is the last thing I want to show. This is the last thing because I think this shit is fried. This shit is fried. This nigga Diddy, bro. I don't know if this is true. Breaking. Private jet owned by Sean P. Diddy Combs has left the U.S. Combs' residence has left the U.S. Combs' residences were raided by DHS in connection with a sex trafficking investigation. The flight path of the plane appears to be headed towards Cape Verde. Cape Verde has no extradition treaty with the U.S. When y'all make up stuff like this, at least make it believable. Want me to send you the flight tracker website? Where's retro plane? Okay, so I don't think this is true. I think this is completely fake news, but because Diddy wasn't in the house when they raided him, and the thing about like if all of these people, like if Homeland Security has been reaching out and like doing investigations on him, like if they're gonna raid him, that means they've been looking into this for a while to feel comfortable to go into his house and do this. I wouldn't be surprised with someone of Diddy's caliber, like with the money and pull and connections he has, if he knew he was getting raided and fucking left and made sure he wasn't going to be there for when that happened. I'm not saying that this is what happened, and I'm not saying that I believe this is true, but I will say that it's pretty fucking funny, and that's why I wanted to say it. So that's all I'm going to say, bro, about the Diddy situation, because there's not enough information like about what's going on. There's not enough information about what's going on to be like Diddy is fucking, he's guilty, blah, 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 blah. But I'll just say a couple things. In the next couple of weeks, there's going to be information that comes out because they do have something. We're going to figure out the reason why they decided to raid all of his houses right now and what they were looking for. We're going to see a statement from Diddy and his people that are going to look into a statement that's going to either deny it, try to do some sort of damage control. And I think we're going to see, like, we're going to see something near that, like, when with R. Kelly, like, are we going to get a documentary? Are we going to get interviews from people? Are we going to get just a bunch of stories? Like, and this is why the internet and Twitter is good for a day like this, because it makes it easy for everybody in the world to fucking tell their story. We're going to get a lot of random more stories about Diddy being a freak. Like, everybody on social media has seen all the videos of freaky ass Diddy. There's the video of him and Meek Mill when they were singing together. There's the video of him and Fabulous where he was like, "Fab, we need to party." All those videos, all those videos are gonna keep coming out. This is gonna keep getting worse, and this is just insane to see. This is insane to see. I'm gonna keep talking about this as more information comes out. The news is breaking right now, so I had to just mention it. Or what would guarantee news be if I didn't? I mean, let's look at a couple. I kind of want to keep looking. Like, let's see if I see any tweets, bro. Have raided the home. Yeah. Have been raided. There's not going to be any more information for a little bit. So, Diddy's house has been raided. Diddy's Los Angeles, Miami homes have been raided. It looks like the Los Angeles home was owned by his daughter. It looks like, yeah, Diddy is being charged for sex trafficking and being a major freako, and it looks like it's going to be a RICO case. Wow, that was 23 minutes of that. 2024 is really insane. Really insane. Wow. You know, actually, do I have that video of Cat Williams? I liked a video of Cat Williams, like basically saying this is going to be, let me see. This is going to be the year of like getting caught, bro. Truth is going to run free. All right, I can't find it, so fuck it. But 2024, bro. We got Nick, Dan Schneider documentary. We got Diddy. We got the Drake Sinister Six. There's a lot going on right now, bro. 2024, it's only March, and I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. All right. That was my hard news story for the day. No Diddy pause. Let's see let's move on into my next story. I said I was going to do an X-Men 97 review once I finally watched it, or the 2 first episodes. I did watch those first 2 episodes. I'm going to review them. Let's get into it. Hold on, let me make sure I have my, let's see, 25 minutes in, we're going into the X-Men. All right, so X-Men 97 released last week with the first 2 episodes, and basically what this show is it's an extension of like the original X-Men show, like original. It's an X-Men show. It's an extension of this X-Men show, which if you watched it, it came out from like 1992 to 1997. I remember watching reruns of it. I was born in 2000, but this is literally the show that made me like love superheroes and made me love Wolverine and made me love X-Men. So when I won't say made me love superheroes, but it definitely made me love Wolverine, because Wolverine is my favorite hero for a while. It made me fuck with X-Men. So they basically made X-Men 97, the show that came out, and it takes place right where this X-Men left off. Basically, Charles Xavier dies, and now it's like the X-Men are left to continue his dream and keep fighting the good fight, basically. And that's what it is. Now, when I tell you this show is fucking amazing, episode 1 was like a 4 out of 5. Episode 2, I'm giving like a 4.8 out of 5. It was great. I'm gonna, like, when I do my reviews, I'm gonna have to get more of like a good way to see how I'm gonna review shits. But these are absolutely great. I'm gonna just talk about a couple of things and then move right past it. So, the cartooning and art on this show is fucking amazing. So let's go back into the original X-Men. 5 seasons. Like, when you look at this, you can tell it was made in the 90s. Like look at this. Like, hold on. Let me move my camera. Look at that. Ooh. All right, look at that. Like, that just looks grainy as hell. And let me find some other pictures. Like you could just tell this was made in the 90s. What the new show has done is it's taken like even though this looks grainy, it has a really specific like animation style. What the new show has done is taken that animation style and beefed it up to where you can see it's still like based off of that or inspired, but it's made it look good in 2024. And that is one of the like first things that like stood out to me with the show, is because when I started, before the show X-Men 97 came out, I went to try to watch the original X-Men over again, and I couldn't do it because it looked so bad. And I talked about this on stream before already, but like a thing with me, if animation or CGI in a real movie looks really bad, it's hard for me to get past it and watch it. So I couldn't go back and watch the show. And that was one thing I was like thinking about before the show started, is I hope it looks still like the X-Men, but like they make it unique, they make it look good in 2024, and they absolutely fucking did that. The next thing that I want to say with this, that's going to go with what I just said, is how the cartoon shows how the X-Men use their powers and use them. So unique and beautiful. I'm going to just get into a couple of clips on Twitter of like the show, the first like couple episodes with Magneto, Cyclops, and Storm. And I feel like these clips are going to like perfectly describe how good the show looks, how good the animation is, and kind of just go in more about like how good the show does at doing a lot of things. I'm just going to stick to the animation right now. So let's look at this first clip. This is from episode 1. Look how fucking good this shit is.
Solid work, team. See you on the ground. To me, my X-Men.
Like, that just gives you an idea. Like, that's perfect. It gives you an idea of how strong Cyclops' blasts are, how much power it is. Like, it's the perfect way to power scale and look cool as fuck. That looked amazing. That looked amazing. Let me see the next clip I want to show. This fight. The way that they're showing them use their powers, top notch. Look at this shit. Shit's hard. Come on now, bro. You're not gonna tell me that shit doesn't look hard as hell? Like, just the creativity that he's fighting, the creativity of him using his power. Because Cyclops is a boring ass character. He does fucking raise. So when you have a card, like, seeing this, a little kid's gonna watch this and is gonna love Cyclops because his powers are fucking awesome. They're unique. So this cartooning is gonna be something that, like, old school fans are gonna love it and be amazed by it. But it's gonna also be a little kid who this is his or her first time watching X-Men, and they're gonna fucking love Cyclops because look how he's using his powers. Look how the animation looks. This shit looks great. Last video I want to show just on the animation scale and how awesome this shit is. Look at this fucking scene of Storm from the first episode.
Give him the forecast.
Omega level threat detected.
Ancient sands, heed my command and reclaim these relics of hatred!
Give him the forecast.
Omega level threat detected.
Sometimes you gotta let that shit double up. Like, bro. Come on. Doesn't even have to say anything. Shows how powerful she is. The colors, the anime, it just looks beautiful. So 10 out of 10 with the animation. 10 out of 10. You can't say anything other than positivity about it. So next thing I want to get into it with it is just the storylines and the writing of this show are fucking amazing. And let's see. So Magneto running the X-Men. Yeah, Magneto running the X-Men and Charles Xavier's death and learning to fulfill Charles Xavier's dreams and like the character development of this person, of Magneto, that we're seeing with this in just 2 episodes. Storm losing her powers, how they approach the mutant conversation and identity and how they interact with humans and how like mutants and humans interact, how having an identity as a mutant, the storylines are fucking beautiful. They're not too watered down, or they're not too like high top notch or high level for children to understand, but they're not too watered down or corny or so like just annoying to where like being a grown up or being older watching it, you just don't want to like watch it anymore. Like it has that perfect balance of it being for kids, but also if you're an original X-Men fan who's older, you're still gonna love it. And the thing about this show is I feel like I can tell it was made by somebody that really enjoyed that knows the comic material and knows the characters just by the way he's showing them use their powers. Because even looking at this, it looks like a comic book. Like the creativity that the characters use their powers, which is something you don't see in like a movie, like superhero movies or shows, cartoons and shows anymore. It's not that care. It's not that knowledge of the source material that you can obviously tell from this, and you can tell the person who wrote this really cares about these characters and these storylines and what's going on in here. Let me get into, let's see. And with that, I want to introduce, because I have an article that I brought up. So the person that wrote this is, let's see, X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMeo. That's who's creator, Bo DeMeo. He was fired weeks before the premiere of X-Men 97. And like I wanted to look into some like why he was fired, because again, the show is so good, the writing is so good, the way the characters use their powers is so good. As someone that like likes writing and shit like that, I'm like, who made this? I have to look into it and look up his story. And to see that he was fired because somebody, like, I was talking to him and saying I'm watching X-Men, and they were like, didn't you see blah, blah, blah got fired? You still got to watch it. And then I went and looked into it, and it's kind of crazy. Again, like I said with the Diddy stuff, everything I'm about to say, I don't know if it's facts. I'm just going to give my honest opinion. But all right, X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMeo fired weeks before premiere. In an unusual situation, on the either project's debut. Okay. So earlier this month, Bo DeMeo was in the midst of a particular busy time at Marvel Studios. And we're going to quick read through this. We're not going to take as long as I took with reading through that Diddy article. All right. The writer-producer was preparing for the launch of X-Men 97. He is a Marvel regular. He's worked on Moon Knight, really good. He's working on Blade, and has completed writing duties on Season 2 of X-Men 97. Already written the first 2 seasons when they fired him. And he was making plans to attend the show's Hollywood premiere on March 13th, like a week or two ago. But early last week, Marvel and DeMeo suddenly parted ways. His company email was deactivated, and cast and crew were informed he was no longer on the project. DeMeo's Instagram account, once a source for X-Men updates, was deleted. No reason for the firing was given. Marvel had no comment. DeMeo's representatives did not return calls for comment, and emails to the showrunner yielded no response. It was a surprising turn of events. It's unusual for a top creative on a Marvel project to miss a premiere or cancel a show. Most Marvel premieres feature multiple screenwriters. Marvel announced DeMeo's hiring in 2021. His sounds on social media. No, I actually want to read this part too. The move was met with some level of excitement as described Bryce's identity as a gay black man to the project, admitted a point to talking to the press about how growing up as an adopted son to white parents with a Korean sister in the South made the X-Men characters and their struggles for acceptance by society feel personal to him. When you watch the show, listen to the dialogue, listen to the characters, listen to the problems that they're having in the story plots, that makes sense that like his identity and the struggles of the X-Men for acceptance and his identity as, white parents, a Korean sister in the South, like, makes completely sense to me. Let's see. So he was a prolific poster on social media, sharing a lot of X-Men tidbits as well as shirtless pictures of him at the gym, and ran a non-expressive OnlyFans account, all of which inspired the LGBTQ publication Out to declare him the sexy gay Marvel. Okay. So it looks like they haven't announced why they released him. It looks like they split ways. Everybody's going to be looking for Marvel to say a reason why he's fired. And, I'm not going to say, looking at a picture of him, he looks like a little bit of a freakazoid, but there's nothing wrong with being a freakazoid. Diddy's getting a freako. That's different than being a freakazoid. Like, being a freakazoid is no kink shaming around here, bro. He does look like he has a little bit of something. Like, when I look in his eyes, they look a little something-ish. But he obviously can ride his ass off. He obviously cares about the source material. And this is a very good fucking show. So, and the fact that Marvel hasn't said anything, like if he did something, like if he was violent, hurt somebody, was angry, was bad at the job, I would feel like there would be stuff coming out about it. Unless Marvel's not wanting to shade this really good show with the writer of it being like a dickhead or an asshole. I feel like if it can't be anything so bad that like if it was that bad you'd have to say it immediately. It's probably something in the middle, like he's hard to work with. I don't know, but I think depending on what it is, it's sad because this show, 2 seasons written, he's obviously excited. The show is fucking great. If season 3 of the show, when it comes out, if it's greenlit for a 3rd season, if it turns out to be trash, then I think it's just disappointing. I'm going to be looking closely as to why he was fired. Anybody watching this, like if you're watching like a TikTok clip, Instagram clip, watching it on YouTube, like if you know why he was fired and I just can't find it, please tell me, because he obviously clearly did great work on the show. The show's fucking amazing, so I'm kind of interested as why he would be let go. It has to be for some reason, but it's interesting to me that they're not saying why and saying that they separated ways, like it was mutual. There's no he was fired. Obviously, that's corporate lingo, mumbo jumbo bullshit. Maybe they're giving them respect and he was pushed out, but I'm curious as to why he was pushed out, because I would assume it'd be a really good reason considering how fucking good this show is off just 2 episodes and that he has 2 seasons already written out. Okay, but if you haven't though, watch X-Men 97. Watch X-Men 97 and let me see let me see. When do X-Men 97 episodes come out? Wednesdays. So yeah, guarantee or Gnews on this Wednesday, we'll be able to watch a little bit of X-Men, or I'll be able to give a review on it probably on Friday. All right, let's move on into our last story. The NFL has banned the hip drop tackle. So this is our sports story, and this is going to be our last story of the day. If you haven't seen today, the NFL has officially banned what's called the hip drop tackle. I've been seeing like a lot of NFL players saying they hadn't even heard what a hip drop tackle is until like a month ago, and this announcement is basically being met with a lot of backlash from defensive players, former players, coaches. Everybody hates it. The conversation is they're making the NFL soft as fuck now. You can't hit anybody, and you might as well make it flag football. Now, when I first read this, I'm like thinking, I kind of had a picture in my head of what a hip drop tackle is, but I didn't know, and that was the first thing I thought is, what is a hip drop tackle? So before I get into anything with this and what the implications of this rule are gonna be, in my opinion, let's go to Twitter again and let's find a video I found of some hip drop tackles. This is the video that I'm gonna show actually is like the video the like ESPN itself played, or not ESPN, I'm tripping. The NFL offices played themselves. Like this is like to show an example of what the hip drop tackle is. So let's watch this video. Let's see. Let's watch this. Good googly moogly. That's my bad. All right, let's watch this. This is like the video the NFL played showing examples of like the hip drop tackle in the NFL.
Unweighting yourself as a defender and landing on your opponent's legs. You've heard us say before that the injury rate with this sort of tackle compared to a typical tackle is at least 20 times more.
Like, even I have to stop it there. Like, that one is insane. So obviously the hip drop tackle is like you're getting onto somebody and you're pulling your weight down to pull them down with you. They say it's dangerous. You have all these, it can hurt the offensive player. Like, you'll get the idea, like as you watch more of these, you'll get the idea of what they're trying to stop.
We came to that from reviewing about
that's insane. That's not it at all.
Videos of tackles. The injury rate, we see it 20 times the others. We see a time loss injury about once a week now.
Like that right there, that you're getting dragged and you're like coming back and landing on your knees and like this. That's obviously what they're trying to prevent. But at the same time, when we keep looking,
which is an increase year over year. We see the tackle occur about once a game, which is up 65% year over year. So it's increasing in frequency. The sorts of injuries, as you can see here, the high ankle sprains, the ligament injuries,
so it's like high ankle sprain. If you can hear this, high ankle, because it's quite a sound. High ankle sprains, ligament injuries, leg injuries. That's what they're trying to prevent.
Lead to substantial time loss. So grateful after all the work.
And when you look at them, some of those do look pretty fucking nasty. When you look at them, they do look bad, but some of them just look like a regular tackle.
It was done by the engineers and certainly by the health. And
yeah, and this tweet also has. Let's see. Let me try to find it. I know it's in here. And this is like the actual rules. So amend Rule 12, Section 2. I'm not reading all that bullshit. Article 18, hip drop tackle. It is a foul if a player uses the following technique to bring a runner to the ground: grabs the runner with both hands or wraps the runner with both arms and unweights himself by swiveling and dropping his hips and or lower body, landing on and trapping the runner's legs at or below the knee. For a hip drop tackle, it's a loss of 15 yards and an automatic first down. They said that this was voted on unanimously by NFL owners and that they wanted this to happen. So 15-yard penalty, automatic first down for the hip drop tackle, which essentially looks like you're just putting both of your hands around the runner and just dropping your weight to bring them down with you and try to stop their forward momentum. When you look at the when you look at why they're doing it to get rid of injuries. Okay, football's a violent sport. You want to get rid of injuries, of course. When you look at the video they showed of examples of this, you realize this is fucking terrible for the NFL. It is going to cause a lot of fucking problems, and the NFL is going to do something to change this. So I just want to go over a couple things that I see happening. So this is going to affect a major play in a big game. There's going to be a game 16 or 17 where a team wins and they get to the playoffs. If they lose, they don't. Or there's going to be a playoff game, which the fourth quarter, a team's driving down the field and they get a fucking penalty. They get a penalty that helps them get in the field goal range. Or for the other side, a team is on defense, they're winning, and a defensive player makes a good tackle, and it's a 15-yard loss for a penalty. It's 15-yard loss, first down. They lose the game. They don't get to the playoffs. The other team does, or the other team moves on to the next round of the playoffs. That's gonna happen, and then that's gonna be a big thing where they say refs are cheating, NFL is cheating. We're gonna get the script rules. That's gonna 1,000% happen. There's gonna be a big game where this rule is enforced, and everyone's gonna be fucking pissed, and all I hope is it just doesn't happen with the Colts or the Steelers. It's making the game soft, and it's going to just keep getting worse and worse. I guess with this point, I'm just saying like the rules are going to just keep getting worse and worse. The NFL is going to just keep getting softer. Now, if the players are saying something against it, I think that's who we and people should be listening to, and this makes defensive players' jobs so much harder. I think we need to listen in things like this, like every single player that I've seen, defensive and not offensive, but every defensive player, bro from the Packers, AJ Hawk on Pat McAfee, JJ Watt, every defensive player has said this shit fucking sucks. It makes our jobs a lot harder. Even Adam Schefter multiple times said this is going to make the job of NFL defensive players a lot harder. If all of the players are saying this is not what we should do with the sport, I think we should listen to them. It's the same thing with the turf conversation. All the players are saying the turf is more dangerous. They're not switching the turf. They don't listen to the players, clearly. All right. So they want to make the game more sensitive, more safe. All the players hate it. Now, what this is going to do, though, is that I think is also interesting that I didn't think about is this could be a place for more injuries and cause injuries for more players. Because for big-ass tight ends like a Rob Gronkowski, there's going to be only one way to bring them in. And a tweet that I saw with Tony Dungy, former Colts fucking head coach, Jesus, can I talk? And Super Bowl head coach, damn, why can't I get that flustered? He tweeted this, and this was really interesting to me. I'm all for player safety. Hold on. I'm all for player safety. We need to make the game as safe as possible. And I must admit, I didn't know what a hip drop tackle is. Having played and coached defense, I can tell you there's only one way to make a tackle from behind without dropping your weight, which could be worse. The laws of physics. You can't bring down a ball carrier who is running away from you without dropping your weight. If defensive players are penalized or fined for tackles from behind where they drop their weight after contact, it will lead to diving at the legs, which is going to have some very bad unintended consequences. And when I saw this, I was like, golly, I didn't even think about this, but that's an absolute fact. And it made me think of multiple times, like I've heard Rob Gronkowski talking about this in interviews where he's basically saying like, if you do this, I'd rather somebody hip drop tackle me than somebody shoot for my knees or my fucking legs, because if I'm going to be done if I tear my knees or shit or something fucked up, like an ankle injury I can deal with. It sounds fucked up to choose injuries, but when you make sense of it, or when you hear it in that way, it makes sense. And as a defender, if I can't hip drop tackle you, I can't pull you because there's horse collar, what am I going to do? I'm going to shoot at those fucking legs as hard as I can. And look at No Diddy, pause. And look at this. This is a perfect video. This is gonna happen. And every tackle on every tight end running back now that the hip drop is banned. And they were basically saying like there's gonna be a lot of injuries from that, and then they're gonna ban this tackle. But just look at this. This is what's gonna happen.
TJ Hawkins on second down is complete. TJ Hawkinson puts up the Vikings first down, gain of 24 yards.
That's a very nice throw by Nick Mullins. TJ Hawkinson does a little double move, out and up, gets him right.
The helmet is going right into the fucking knee, and if you can't grab them and bring your weight down, you can't horse collar them, you can't like wrap them up and just fall. What else are you going to do but shoot for the legs? So I think we're going to be able, as a football fan, watching the games, you're going to be able to see the difference with more players doing that. So I think this is actually going to lead to more injuries, and then they're going to take this rule away, which is going to make shit even more worse. That's one thing that could end up happening, but I hope not. I hope they just take this fucking hip drop rule away, or figure out a way to make it right. And then the last thing I want to say with this is offensive players are going to take advantage of it. You get tackled, go like this. Like, you feel someone just go like this, because when the refs are looking for it, that's the body movement. Like, your body kind of goes like this. You fall down to your knees and come back, and that weight's on you. So they're gonna, as soon as you feel that pressure on you, if you feel like you can't break the tackle, just fall down and lean back, and maybe you can get the flag 15 yards and an automatic first down. So it's gonna incentivize offensive players to flop, which is half the reason why the NBA. Let me not even get into that. It's going to incentivize players to flop. This rule fucking sucks. The NFL is going to be a powder puff league pretty soon, and I don't like it. And every single player is saying it sucks, so I feel like we should listen to them. And when the season starts in September and we start seeing terrible play calls that affect games, we see our favorite players get hurt in ways that the players themselves are saying could have been prevented. And we all have less fun watching games on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. Hopefully, the NFL does something that the players and fans actually want, but they probably want. But that's all I wanted to say with the sports. That rule absolutely fucking sucks. Now, let's think. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? Nope. That's Guaranteed News, March 25th, 2024. If you watched a second of this, thank you. If you watched 20 minutes, 30 minutes, thank you. I appreciate it. Stay safe, stay healthy. Guaranteed News will be back on Wednesday.